All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive deep. Today, we're tackling something, well, kind of delicate, but so important, relationship anxiety. But not just any kind. We're talking about the kind that's, tangled up with past trauma.
And that's where things get really interesting, right? It's like, how do our past experiences color the way we connect with someone in the present?
Exactly. And thankfully, the source material we're diving into today lays out some seriously solid advice. 5 key things,
Mm.
actually. Communication, staying present, challenging those not-so-fun thoughts, therapy, and of course, good old self-care. So let's kick things off with communication. Sounds simple enough, but when past trauma's in the mix, I imagine that's a whole other ball game, huh?
You hit the nail on the head. It's almost like you have to relearn how to talk about what you're feeling, build that trust, be vulnerable, all without, the fear of being judged or misunderstood.
Totally. But how do you actually do that? Like, say you're the one who needs reassurance. How do you even bring it up without it sounding, I don't know, needy or like you're blaming your partner?
I hear you. It's about being direct, but also really specific. Instead of falling into that trap of, you never listen, try something like, when you said and then say the actual thing, it made me feel and then name the feeling. Could you reassure me by, and then suggest a specific action?
Whoa, that's powerful. Having those words right there ready to go, that's huge. Okay, switching gears a bit, this source material also talks about staying present, which, let's be real, when past trauma keeps rearing its head, easier said than done, right?
Right, and that's our brains doing what they're supposed to do, protect us. But when trauma's involved, it's like that danger button gets stuck on high alert. Even when logically we know we're safe in the present moment, that's where mindfulness swoops in to save the day.
Mindfulness. So we're talking like deep breaths, meditation, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Anything that yanks your focus back to the here and now, it's like hitting the pause button on that internal alarm system that's stuck blaring.
Ah, okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
So if staying present is pause, then challenging negative thoughts, that's got to be like, what, hitting rewrite on the whole script.
You got it. You're basically rewiring those old thought patterns. It takes practice, but you start by noticing those negative thoughts, those automatic reactions, and then consciously choosing to swap them out for ones that are, well, a bit more balanced, a bit more grounded in reality.
It's like you're slowly taking back the reins, becoming the author of your own story again.
Exactly. Now, all that being said, sometimes we need a little backup, a co-author, so to speak. That's where therapy comes in.
Right, because let's be honest, unpacking all that past trauma, figuring out how it's showing up in your relationship, that's a lot to process on your own.
It is. And a therapist can be that supportive guide, that non-judgmental space where you can work through it all. They can help you develop those coping skills, those tools to navigate those, shall we say, emotionally turbulent waters.
Totally. And the great thing is, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Talk therapy, EMDR, art therapy, you name it, there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
It's about finding what resonates with you.
Absolutely. It's a deeply personal journey. And speaking of journeys, we can't forget about self-care. And no, I'm not just talking about bubble baths and face masks, that those are great too. I'm talking about building that inner resilience, that toolbox of things you can turn to when life throws you a curveball.
It's like you're creating your own emotional first aid kit, prepared for anything.
Exactly. Exercise, nature, losing yourself in a good book, they all help regulate your system, build that inner strength.
And this all ties back together, doesn't it? Because communication, mindfulness, self-care, it's not just about you as an individual, it spills over into your relationship, right?
100%. Imagine a relationship where you're both actively supporting each other in these practices, being open about your needs, creating this shared space of healing and growth. That's powerful stuff.
It really is. We've covered so much ground today, from the roots of relationship anxiety to those practical tools for communication, mindfulness, self-care. It really highlights how interconnected everything is, our past, our present, our relationships.
Here's a little something to ponder as we wrap up.
Hmm.
Think about how understanding your own personal triggers, those things rooted in your past, can actually give you more power to communicate effectively in your relationship. That's that deeper level of self-awareness that can really transform how you connect with your partner.